Sports with Craig Loper.
They say everything is bigger in Texas, so when you fuse together all of the elements leading up to the national championship game, like the first ever college football playoff final, the age of social media, and the 24-hour news cycle we live in, it's safe to say this is one of, if not the biggest national championship game in college football history. John Franke joins us live from Arlington now. John, speaking of big, the Buckeyes have a big quarterback with a big arm who also has a pretty interesting story, but first there was breaking news regarding the Ducks just a little more than an hour ago. John?
We have so much to get to, Craig. First off, just moments ago, about 60 minutes ago, Comcast Sportsnet reported that wide receiver Darren Carrington did not make the trip with the team as he's been suspended for a failed drug test, testing positive for marijuana. More on that coming up later. Now let's talk about the Ohio State quarterback. You know, at the Rose Bowl, all the hype was about the Heisman battle between Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston. Both quarterbacks, of course, had won Heisman trophies. Well, in this game, we have one Heisman winner, Mariota, and a third stringer in Ohio State quarterback Cardale Jones. Now, Jones is not your typical third stringer. He's won two very important games, and that's why he has the full attention of the Ducks.
I think their quarterback is really talented. You know, you keep hearing that it's the third quarterback, but I think they have a terrific system, and I think that they have the quarterbacks for that system.
Cardale Jones began the year buried on the Ohio State depth chart, but after leading the Buckeyes to wins in the Big Ten Championship and the Sugar Bowl, the Ducks know this isn't just any third stringer. This is a young quarterback who will be dangerous if they don't bring the pressure.
Forcing them into quick decisions, I think, is going to be huge for us, and that's on our D-line and everybody coming, you know, to put bodies on them and try to rattle them.
His quarterback usually knows the offense pretty well. He knows where the spots in defense are going to be. He knows how he can make plays against that defense. So if we're able to get in the backfield and kind of hurry that process up for him, kind of deter things.
Jones' size is unique. At 6'5", 250, he's the biggest quarterback the Ducks will face this season, and most likely the toughest one to take down.
He's not going to be easy to bring down at all. You know, they list him at 250, but you never know how really big he is. So when you get to him, you got to come strong and you got to wrap him up and bring him down the best you can.
Yeah, he's big, he's heavy, he's tall, he can run. He's hard to bring down if you know, he starts going, and he has an arm as well. And you know, he came in and won 2 games, so he's a good quarterback.
Back with plenty of good players around him. The Buckeyes average over 500 yards of offense and 45 points per game. Their quarterback might not have a Heisman, but he has the supporting cast.
In that system, you know, the quarterback is the benefactor of a lot of great players around him. So I don't think there's a ton of stress on him to make a lot of plays because there's so many playmakers around him. They have a great scheme. There's a reason why they're in this game. They're really good.
And Jones, also a very modest guy. After the Buckeyes win over Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, he said, "This isn't my story, it's about our team, and we just shocked the world." Ohio State, a team that plays with a chip on its shoulder, and they'll take that here to AT&T Stadium when this game kicks off on Monday night. Reporting live from outside AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, John Franke, KMTR News Source 16 Sports. Craig, you now have more on the Darren Carrington suspension.
Thanks, John. Yeah, Carrington had really become Marcus Mariota's favorite target over the last 2 games of the season. In the Pac-12 championship, the redshirt freshman had 126 yards and a touchdown while averaging 18 yards per catch. And in the Rose Bowl, he had 165 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns. Another hit to the wide receiver core that lost Braylon Addison before the season and most recently Devin Allen in the Rose Bowl. You have to expect this means Dwayne Stanford will certainly see more playing time. We'll hear from the Ducks tomorrow at Media Day in Dallas.